If you choose to stay with a narcissist, the very first thing you must understand is this. You are not staying in a love story. You are staying in a survival story. Love, in its true form, requires mutual respect, care, and empathy. But with a narcissist, you are dealing with someone who sees relationships not as a bond, but as a battlefield. They don't want to connect with you. They want to control you. They don't want to grow with you. They want to dominate you. And once you see the dynamic for what it is, you will stop expecting softness from a heart made of stone. Rule 1. Detach emotionally while staying physically present. This is the first weapon in your arsenal, and it is the one that will drive them insane. A narcissist survives on emotional fuel. They crave your reactions, whether it's joy, sadness, rage, or desperation. To them, all of it is supply. That's why they push your buttons with precision. They know exactly what words will break you, what tone will trigger you, what silence will torture you. They do it because your emotional explosion feeds their sense of power. But here is where you take back control. You stop feeding them. You give them nothing but stillness. When they insult you, you don't defend. When they provoke you, you don't explode. When they try to guilt trip you, you respond with a calm, unshakable presence. This is not about being passive. It is about being strategic. You are not denying your emotions. You are simply refusing to give them away to someone who weaponizes them. Every time you starve them of your reaction, you chip away at their power. And the beauty is, they don't know how to handle indifference. They can manipulate anger, they can manipulate tears, but they cannot manipulate silence. Rule 2. Set boundaries that cannot be crossed. Narcissists hate boundaries. Why? Because boundaries mean you have a sense of self that exists outside of them. They thrive on blurring lines, on making your life revolve around their wants, their moods, their drama. But if you are going to survive, you must become a fortress. Boundaries are not negotiable. They are commands you enforce without apology. If you say, "Do not yell at me," and they do it anyway, you walk away without discussion. If you say, "Do not insult me," and they cross the line, you end the conversation without explanation. Boundaries are not for them, they are for you. They are a declaration that your dignity is not up for debate. And here's the truth. Narcissists will always test your boundaries. They will push, manipulate, and threaten to see if you'll fold. And the first time you fold, they know exactly where to strike next time. But if you hold firm, if you consistently enforce your limits without drama, you begin to rewire their expectations of you. They may never respect you out of love, but they will respect the wall you've built because it blocks their control. Boundaries are your armor, and without them, you are naked to their attack. Rule 3. Gather your strength in secret. This is where your long game begins. A narcissist thrives on dependency. They want you to need them financially, emotionally, even physically. They want to be your only source of validation, your only source of stability. That way, leaving them feels impossible. But here's what you must do. You quietly build independence in the shadows. Save money they don't know about. Build skills they can't diminish. Create connections outside of their reach. Strengthen your body so you don't rely on their presence. Heal your mind so you don't collapse under their gaslighting. You don't announce these things. You don't post them. You don't tell them. You do it in silence. Because every book you read, every dollar you save, every habit you master, it is a brick in the fortress of freedom you are building. And one day, whether you decide to leave or stay, you will realize that you are no longer their prisoner. You are simply a player who has been quietly preparing for the moment they least expect. Rule 4. Stop expecting empathy. This is the rule that saves you from endless heartbreak. Stop expecting them to care. Stop expecting them to finally apologize. Stop expecting them to understand your pain. Narcissists are not wired for empathy. They mimic it when it serves their agenda. But it is never real. They give you crumbs of affection only when they fear losing control, and then they rip it away once they feel secure again. The cycle is designed to keep you hooked. Hope, disappointment, repeat. The more you expect empathy, the deeper you fall into their trap. But once you stop expecting it, Once you accept that their emotional capacity is empty, you stop bleeding out from their neglect. You no longer wait for them to validate your worth. You validate yourself. You no longer hope for them to heal the wounds they created. You begin to heal yourself. Rule 5. Control the narrative in your own head. Gaslighting is their deadliest weapon. They will lie with a straight face. They will rewrite history. They will tell you things didn't happen the way you remember. And if you let it continue unchecked, you begin to lose yourself. You start doubting your memory, your judgment, even your sanity. That's how they break you, not with fists, but with stories. The antidote is truth. You must anchor yourself in your reality like it is oxygen. Write things down. Journal what happened. Record conversations if necessary. Keep evidence for yourself, not because you need to prove it to them, but because you need to prove it to you. The moment you doubt your own mind, you hand them control. But if you hold on to your truth, if you guard it like sacred fire, they cannot steal it from you. Remember this. Your mind is the battlefield, and your clarity is your weapon. Rule 6. Don't isolate yourself. One of the narcissist's greatest strategies is isolation. They want to cut you off from friends, family, anyone who could see through their mask. They do it by sowing doubt. Your friends don't really care about you. Or by creating drama. Your family is toxic. Or by making you feel guilty for spending time away from them. Why? Because isolation makes you dependent on them. Without outside voices, their lies become your truth. Don't fall for it. Keep your connections alive, even if you have to do it quietly. Call the friend they hate. Visit the family member they try to turn you against. Build a network outside of their reach. Isolation is their cage. Connection is your escape route. Even if it's just one trusted person who knows the truth, that lifeline can keep you from drowning in their manipulations. Rule 7. Decide what your endgame is. This is the hardest but most important rule. If you stay with a narcissist, you must be clear on why you are staying. Is it because of children, finances, safety, or are you hoping they will magically change? If it's the last one, wake up. That day will not come. If you stay, then stay with awareness. Stay because you have a plan. Stay because you are building strength. Stay because you are waiting for the right time to move, but never stay blindly. And if your endgame is to leave, prepare like a general preparing for war. Don't announce it. Don't warn them. Don't beg them to let you go. Plan quietly, build your resources, and when you move, move with precision. Narcissists do not let go of control easily. But the most powerful move you can make is disappearing without explanation, without a goodbye, without giving them closure. Because the one thing they fear most is losing control completely. And here is the final truth. Staying with a narcissist does not make you weak. Sometimes people stay because they're not ready. Sometimes because they're trapped by finances. Sometimes because of children, and that's reality. But weakness is not in staying. Weakness is in staying without awareness. Weakness is in playing their game blindly. Power comes from knowing exactly who you're dealing with, exactly how they operate, and exactly how to protect yourself. So if you stay, stay smart, stay strong, stay detached, stay strategic. And remember this, the greatest power you hold is not in your reactions, not in your begging, not in your hoping. The greatest power you hold is the strength you quietly build in the shadows while they believe they still own you. Because one day they will look for the broken version of you they created, and that version will be gone.